Ooh, I'm ready to do some sipping.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Usually you're talking about biting, devouring, salivating over delicious grub.
Well, I'm cultivating a more refined palate. It's adult time.
TMI. And there goes another opener.
This is Taste 20 and 20.
At Koval Distillery.
Chicago, are you ready to taste the city? I'm Turf Alexius.
And I'm Remo Romeo. We're on a mission to devour the Windy City one bite at a time.
Get ready for a flavor-packed adventure as we discover 20 incredible food experiences in just 20 weeks.
From hidden gems to legendary spots, we're uncovering the heart and soul of Chicago's dining scene.
Get ready to meet passionate chefs.
Taste unforgettable dishes.
And discover why Chicago is a foodie's paradise. This is Taste 20 and 20.
Sonic!
Hi! So good to see you!
Likewise.
What's going on?
Welcome! Great to have you!
Absolutely. We couldn't miss out the opportunity to do a little sipping.
And learning. And then sipping again.
The sipping part one more time.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to tell you even more about the sipping part because we're going to be able to do some bourbon, some gin, some cranberry gin, and
Wait.
Yes.
Cranberry gin.
Cranberry gin. It is the spritzer you've been waiting for.
Yes.
And we'll also be trying some of our new line THRESH WINNOw.
I like it.
Exactly. So
So
yeah,
sure.
let's go do the learning part.
Learning part first.
All right,
Let's do it.
come on. Koval began in 2008, the first distillery in Chicago since the mid-1800s. Chicago was very much a distribution town, but not as much a manufacturing town for distilled spirits, at least not legally. Until we got started in 2008. In fact, when we started Koval in 2008, there were less than 50 distilleries in the entire United States.
Wow.
There weren't laws on the books in Illinois that made it possible to do what we're doing right now, which is a tour and a tasting, and that wasn't legal. And so when we first started, I had to go to Springfield to make it possible for us to have a craft distiller's license.
Thank you.
So yes, believe me, it was a pleasure. When we were getting started, my parents would come, my mom would be peeling ginger, my dad would be boxing up boxes. My sister and her company, Dando Projects, they do all the branding for us, all the beautiful bottles that you see. And I got to work with my husband every day, which is great. You know, Robert grew up distilling with his grandfather on their farm in Austria. He would do this as chores. So he really learned all these techniques. So this was some knowledge that he had. And we started looking into it. What does it take to start a distillery? You know, and at the time when we were gonna start Koval and we started saying, yeah, we're gonna start a distillery in Chicago. You're gonna do what? But we looked into it and we did all the research and we're like, you know what, actually, I think we can do this. But it was also, you know, really through this love of family and the knowledge that Robert gained from his grandfather. Everything at Koval begins though with local grains from organic farmers.
That's key.
Absolutely.
That's key.
Here are unmilled grains. It's milled for us. So this is the grain, how it looks milled before it starts the fermentation process. Over here we have where we do the mashing. So you're making what is like a grain soup almost. We get the whole process started. Water, yeast, we use enzymes because that creates a very clean process. This is what the mash looks like inside. You can see this is our bourbon mash. Mashing's done. Cool. Now we go over to the fermentation process. You can feel the bubbling happen. It gets warm. So with grains, it takes about 3 days roughly. We always have to check the pH. We make sure that we're getting the conversion going and it's appropriately turned over. It all gets pumped over into our still. And this is a hybrid still. It's got a pot and a column that allows for a great deal of flexibility. And the whole process involves this beautiful exchange of liquid to gas, liquid to gas, liquid to gas, you know, and every time it goes up in the column, it's rising as a gas and then converting back into a liquid and then going up. And every time it does that, the alcohol content gets tighter. And the final change is then over here in the condenser, and the condenser then takes it, converts it all back into liquid, and then it comes off in 3 parts. It comes off heads, hearts, and tails. Exactly. Now the heads are poisonous. Those get cut off. Then you have the hearts, which is like the purest portion of the distillate. It's like the pure ethanol. And that's what we use. We use the heart cut for all of our products.
Okay.
After the distillation process and we've got the heart cut, it will go into a barrel. And then it will stay in the barrel if we're going to be making whiskey with it. It's going to stay in the barrel for around 4 to 5 years for our main line of products. This area is where the bottling line is, where we package everything, and you see product waiting to get shipped out. Koval's available in 40 export markets around the world and across the United States. It's time to sip, right?
Yes.
Let's go do it.
Let's do it.
Let's try it. Come on. We're all set, that's for sure.
We are all set, and I'm smelling them. Sana, this is amazing. Walk us through what we have here.
Absolutely. Well, we are here at the sip part of
We've been talking about
the
this.
tour.
Sipping,
Exactly.
Sipping, yes.
We can start with the bourbon. We spoke a lot about the bourbon before.
Yes.
The mash bill is corn and millet. All comes from local farmers, and the millet is a regenerative crop, so it allows the farmers to put the nutrients back into the soil.
Ooh, all right, let's pass
That's the
these
part where
over.
we're giving back, right?
Here you go.
Yes,
I'm all about giving back
absolutely.
too.
He's so reconnecting with nature right here.
Oh, yes, one of my favorite
And
ways.
giving back.
Cheers.
Usually you think what's it gonna do afterwards? Like, you know, that
Right.
is it gonna hit?
I get a lot of the sort of a light caramel note, but I also get sort of chocolate covered orange peel.
Yes,
you know, a
yes,
little
yes,
bit
yeah.
on that. I feel that it lingers, but not in an overtly hot
Yeah, it's not too
way.
much.
Correct,
Yeah, it's like a slow burn.
No, because it doesn't smack you in the face. 'Cause some of them smack you in the face afterwards.
Right.
You're like, Like,
Right, which is funny because this is actually pretty overproof. I mean, it's 47% alcohol by volume.
The tour was fantastic, right? I mean, before I was completely clueless, now I have a greater appreciation for the whole process. You and Robert both left academic, right? To start this distillery in Chicago. What was the inspiration?
The inspiration was really the fact that time moves quickly. And we were on the verge of a new chapter because I was pregnant with our first child.
Okay.
And we started thinking, well, what do we want our life to look like as a family? And when we were thinking about these things, we thought that we wanted to be in a place that we love, and we wanted to be close to family. And so we decided that even though we had other careers, I was a tenured professor, Robert was the deputy press secretary for the Austrian embassy, and we decided to give it all up, gave up health insurance, we gave up all the security of it to move back to Chicago into my parents' home. We got to be with family. My children, you know, have grown up close to us. They understand what we do. They understand work and what it means.
Yes.
Our second sip
sip.
is going to be our cranberry gin. It's very popular in Italy to, you know, in the afternoon to have a spirit that you will mix with like sparkling water.
Okay.
This is actually classified as a liqueur. It's a gin liqueur. We wanted this to be an American sort of aperitivo.
Yes.
And in that sense, cranberries are native to the Midwest, to this area. We love it by itself, sort of an after dinner sort of cordial in a way.
Yes, yes.
But it's also fantastic as a spritzer. So you can spritz it with anything.
Anything.
I'm sold.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. You get the tartness
I like that.
because it's not too sweet, right?
Yes, it's perfect. And who doesn't like cranberry, right?
Oh my gosh, it's, yes.
I think I'm finally sold on gin.
I'm so glad I could be a part of that.
Finally sold on gin because it was almost the flower aspect would take me just overbearing.
Yes.
So I'm like, I've never been a gin fan, but this right here,
Mission accomplished.
Midwest in a glass.
Midwest in a glass.
Yeah.
There you go. Cheers. This next one, this is our gin. Our gin is made in, the hard way. So
The hard way.
The hard way. So we work directly with the farmers. They grow the grain for us. The base is a rye white whiskey. Then we do a cold press almost, a sort of a maceration with the botanicals.
Okay.
And some of the main botanicals are rose hips, but we also have grains of paradise. We have some of the classic botanicals, obviously juniper, which needs to be in gin, and then other botanicals such as cardamom and caraway and, some cinnamon. Then we do a distillation with the botanicals. So this gin is also overproof, 47% alcohol by volume. It allows it to work very well just by itself, but also in cocktails, on ice.
It's working well.
I love that.
Even then, it has a floral element to it, but again, it's not that. Because I've had some that are just like, it's almost like older garbage that just slapping you all over your face and just too much. But this is still a nice balance, and it's
Yes.
floral, but yeah, it has enough where it has a rootedness. It's grounded.
Right. We love balance. And this over here is our new line. It's called THRESH WINNOW. We wanted to have an opportunity to make very unique spirits that are also maybe aged a lot longer than our main line, or that use sort of different grains than we normally use for our main line. And so here is our single malt, which is in the THRESH WINNOW line, which is going to be a line that has different whiskeys every year.
Ooh.
It's a brand new whiskey category in the United States.
Really?
Yes, it has just earned its own designation. So there's an American single malt category now. And this allowed us to be a part of this brand new whiskey tradition in America.
Dun, 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 dun. Here's to brand new traditions.
Absolutely. Cheers.
Salud.
Cheers. So this has that smokiness. It's very creamy.
It is. Again, for me, all these types of whiskeys usually hits that little stab in the back that sometimes that you're expecting. Not with this.
This is something that is a very traditional whiskey, but I love the American sort of take on it with the heart cut,
Yes.
using grains that are local,
Yes.
and being a part of a new American tradition.
I think the educational aspect of it really adds a whole other dimension to it. I have a greater appreciation for it. Having seen the process, the way you break it down, and also sampling it, it's the appreciation is much higher.
I just like the fact that when I'm sipping on something at night now, I can say, you know what? I can tell my daughter, listen, when I'm doing this, I am supporting the farmers, right?
And you're giving back.
I'm giving back. I am sipping, this is not just for me right now.
This is for the community.
I'm thinking about the community.
I love